Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. My name is Justin, and today we're going to talk about the C8 Corvette and some more details on changes coming soon for the price, some differences in the base versus the Z51 package, as well as something interesting that came up about that C8R. Alright guys, so before we get started, let's take a look at a video real quick that shows off the fact that the C8 Corvettes have started to make their way to the Ron Fellows Performance Driving School. This is awesome news because the class is, from what I hear, unbelievable, and I'm going to be able to go soon here myself. It's offered for any new purchase of a Corvette, and since I just recently bought my ZR1, I will have the ability to experience it myself very soon. It's a good thing to see that GM is sticking with this tradition because of how powerful these cars are nowadays. You almost have to be taught to drive them at their limits, and it also gives you the ability to handle the car better in case of a dangerous daily driving circumstance that might pop up from time to time. It's always a great thing to know what the limits are of your car and how to handle it in a bad situation. So this class is definitely a huge win for Chevy, and the fact that they're sticking with it with the C8 is a big thumbs up for me. There isn't any talk as to exactly when this will be offered, but it's interesting to see that the car is showing up with the logo on the side already. And this kind of tells me it's gonna likely be ready to go on the first day that the C8 is officially sold on the lots of the dealerships. So if this is something you guys were looking forward to, I think you're gonna be good. I think it's about ready to go at this point. Next up, we have some details that were recently released about the Z51 package, specifically how it compares to the base model for top speed. With the announcement of the C8 Corvette's ability to hit 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds, you know GM isn't messing around. It was recently discussed that the C8 Corvette Stingray is going to have the top speed of 194 miles per hour, which is pretty freaking amazing for a base car. Base in quotes, of course. With the launch of their C7 Corvette ZR1, GM was able to put out an insane car that averaged 212 miles per hour, which again is absolutely insane. The ZR1 has always been known for its insane performance though, so a top speed of over 200 miles per hour was kind of expected. However, a base model C8 Corvette coming this close to 200 miles per hour wasn't really as expected. The base model 2020 C8 Corvette is not likely to be the car that a whole lot of people buy. Most people who can afford the new Corvette are likely to check a few boxes, and one of those boxes is very likely to be the Z51 option. This performance option will cost you an additional $5,000, but it gives you a few performance upgrades, such as a performance exhaust, performance suspension, electronic limited slip differential, bigger brakes and rotors, Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, enhanced cooling, and new front brake cooling inlets. This is likely to be a highly requested feature due to the fact that it basically makes this car more track ready. With all of that said, the Z51 package actually limits the top speed of this car. Now you may be asking yourself, well, why does the track package option limit something as important as top speed? The answer is drag. The Z51 package includes a front splitter and a rear wing that together deliver 400 pounds of downforce. This is huge to improve handling, but it will drop the top speed of the Z51 equipped car to 184 miles per hour. That's still more than you would ever need for the street, and it's pretty much more than you'll ever use in any track in your area as well. So it's not a huge problem, but because of that extra downforce, you are going to give up 10 miles an hour off of the top speed of the car. I'm definitely interested in seeing what that high wing spoiler is going to do for this though, because GM actually said that this spoiler increases downforce while decreasing drag. So it's possible that the high wing may actually allow a closer to 194 mile per hour top speed than the Z51 spoiler would. Definitely interesting. I'm anxious to see what GM actually finds with that. Now let's talk about something that everyone that's interested in the C8 has been talking about recently, and that is the price. When it was first revealed, we all heard it was going to start under $60,000, and our jaws basically hit the floor. It's a lot of bang for your buck, and without a doubt, the cheapest mid-engine dual-clutch transmission car you can buy today. but it's not going to be sub $60,000 for long. There are a lot of rumors out there right now suggesting that this car is going to get a price bump for 2021. Now, how much of a bump? Well, back in 2013, the 2014 Chevrolet Corvette launched with a starting price of $51,995, which was a very attractive number since it was only a jump of about $400 from the C6 that it was replacing. But a few months into the C7 Corvette's domination, Chevy raised the base price to $53,993, saying that there was higher than expected demand, which is kind of a terrible reason, but that's what they gave us. By the 2015 model year, the C7's starting price had jumped to $55,995, which is a full $4,000 more than its original MSRP. Of course, it would have been very hard to find a C7 for sticker price at launch anyway, but that's another story, and it's one you can bet will very likely be repeated with the C8 Corvette. So make sure if you want one of these things, you put your allocation in at a reputable dealership ASAP. Now, increasing the price after the first year for unexpected demand or to help combat inflation, it's not anything new. GM typically raises their price each year, and for a car that is likely to be insanely popular, it's definitely going to get a price bump. All this means for you is that if you want a C8 Corvette, you better jump on it quick so you can get one for as cheap as possible. Or you may be waiting a lot longer than you want to actually get this car without completely breaking the bank. Alright guys, so next we're going to talk about the C8R. This car was shown off quite a bit before the official debut of the C8, and it has quite a different shape and look than the Stingray C8, which has always led me to believe that this may actually be a look at what the Z06 or ZR1 gets in the future. Basically, I think that the C8R is likely to mimic the Z06 or ZR1 body style that we're going to get very soon. What has been pointed out to me recently by Mike, who is a subscriber of mine, is that the exhaust tips are not out near the edge of the car as far as they are on the Stingray model. It's really interesting, but this really leaves only a few possibilities on the table. But the most notable is that the rear trunk area is likely moved out of the car to shorten it up, save some weight, and to give those exhaust tips a more centered approach angle to the rear bumper. This is most likely the case because, especially with the C8R being a race car where extra pounds for something like a trunk is completely unnecessary, it would be easy to remove. I'm curious to see where this leads though, because I had a feeling since the day we first saw this C8R that it was going to translate into the Z06 or ZR1 model someday, and if it does, it likely means we won't have a trunk in those models either. This would be absolutely fine by me because the more centered exhaust looks better in my opinion, and it would allow the car to be shortened up a little bit, weigh a little less, and overall it would give it a better look, in my opinion, of course. In the past, GM has gone as extreme as making the rear glass thinner to save weight on the Z06 model. So it would not be completely far-fetched to think that GM would take the trunk out, shorten the car up, and possibly give it a different design just to make that Z06 be as crazy as possible. Now, lastly, there was a video on Corvette Blogger recently that talked about the video rear view mirror option for the C8 Corvette. And we actually got a little bit of footage of it in action, courtesy of the C8 page on Instagram. I'm going to include it right here for you guys to check out.
All right, first ride in the C8. At the Laguna WeatherTech Speedway. That is such great quality on that camera. Mm-hmm.
Just like she stated in the video, the quality of the camera appears to be quite good. It's almost hard to tell that it's not actually just a mirror reflection, but because there aren't any parts of the car obstructing the view, and the fact that we've seen the option sheet for the car, we know that it is in fact a camera. It's an awesome feature that will definitely end up increasing visibility, and that's always welcome in any Corvette that I've ever driven. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I wanted to bring you a little bit of a C8 update before I headed out for Corvettes at Carlisle. As I said a couple times in my previous videos, I will have a vendor tent there with JT from Cars Guys, D'Anthony from DZR1 Messiah, Clarence from C Garner Speed, and Mike from Brink of Speed. Definitely stop by and check us out. If you're near that food court, we'll be right beside it. I hope to see all of you guys there. Anyway, give me a big thumbs up if you liked the video. Leave any questions you may have for me in the comments section down below, or email me, horse.power.obsessed@gmail.com. I'm always happy to hear from you guys. And as always, I'll catch you in the next upload.